I swallowed an era, and now, on this island, I'm being swallowed by myself. The waves keep breaking me. I once ruled battlefields. But before this silence, I am powerless. All wars are over, but I am not. In this stillness, I finally hear it. Not the heartbeat of an emperor, but the quiet pulse of a man named Napoleon. I was once an emperor. Now, I'm just a name washed away by the tide. No sword follows me, no voice calls me. And yet, strangely, I feel free. Time where I give no orders, a name that no longer needs proving. This silence feels like a gift that arrived too late. So I picked up the pen, not in surrender, not for vengeance, but to leave behind my final voice as a man. I was not a conqueror. I was simply a man who loved his era too much. I was born unwanted, a Corsican child in a French uniform. Their words, their tone, none of it belonged to me. I always sat in the back, small, quiet, invisible. They mocked me, and I swallowed the silence. That's when I learned, when one is unloved, he begins to prove himself, and sometimes that need to prove sets the world on fire. I grew up where no one waited for me, so I learned to arrive first. In the chaos of revolution, I wasn't afraid, because the fire inside me had long been lit. It wasn't lit by ideals, not by glory. It was lit by the rage of a boy left behind. I had to know, I had to win. The more I was ignored, the higher I aimed. So I never let go of the pen, nor the sword. One hand for war, one for thought. I shaped myself. I wasn't born, I was carved, cut and defined by insult and absence. No one called my name, so I carved it myself. It began with one belief. Napoleon, a name forged not from love, but from the will to devour the world. They called me a god, golden armor, a crown on my head. My name echoed through thousands of voices. I was a conqueror, a nation's pride, the face of an era. But that day, as the crown touched my head, my hands trembled. The world kneeled before me, but I was afraid to stand before myself. I ruled the crowds, but I never believed their cheers, because deep down, I couldn't even believe myself. It was all too fast, too high. It felt like I wasn't building an empire, but being lifted by hands I didn't trust. My name spread across continents, and so did my solitude. The emperor's throne wasn't built on gold, but on isolation, a quiet punishment wrapped in glory. I won the wars, built the empire, and crumbled every day. My right hand raised for power, my left hand trembled. Soldiers swore loyalty while I stared into mirrors. What I saw was a tired man no one truly knew. I thought I held power, but in truth, it held me. I didn't command history. I was its most lonely puppet. I conquered countless battlefields, but never one heart. Her name was Josephine, and she was my only defeat. I didn't just want her, I wanted her to be the one soul allowed to step into my emperor's solitude. But she didn't love me, she needed me, that's all. I gained an empire, but each night I faced an empty place beside me. Her scent lingered in the room, but her warmth never returned. I was the emperor, yet before her, I never once sat on the throne. I commanded armies, but I never learned how to take her heart. And then I understood. In love, swords and strategy mean nothing. She left, and I became a complete emperor again. But that completeness felt like shouting from a wall with no one to hear. I conquered the world to prove my heart, but no one ever saw it. Before love, I was the most helpless conqueror. And on that day, I finally saw it. Loneliness isn't born from power. It grows where love has failed. Waterloo. That morning, I woke up early, like always, but something felt wrong. The wind, the air, it didn't belong to me. The map said it was winnable. The numbers were in place. The timing precise. I was still the emperor. And yet, my mind went blank for the first time in my life. I gave the order, but my voice scattered. The field didn't listen. It no longer recognized me. I couldn't lift my sword, or perhaps I wouldn't, because my hand was trembling. And then I knew real defeat doesn't come from the enemy. It comes when you collapse from within. One by one, my soldiers fell. The voices that once called my name grew faint. And I stood still, watching it all fall. My empire, my story, before my helpless eyes. That day, my armor meant nothing. For the first time in my life, I was truly afraid. I wasn't the god of war. I was a man at his end. No one calls my name now. No soldiers, no lovers, only the wind, and a few fading lines of ink. Here, I am not reborn, nor am I forgotten. I exist in the crack between memory and disappearance. I was an emperor. Now, for the first time, I am a man. No sword, no horse, just breathe, just silence. I once commanded thousands. Now, I'll listen to a single voice, my own. It asks, what did you truly want? And I still don't know. I have no crown, no land, no tears. But in this stillness, for the first time, I see myself. I was an emperor, but now I have finally become a human being. And strangely, this last night feels like the most honest of my life. One day, will anyone say my name again? History will remember my sword, my wars, my rise, my fall. But I hope, just once, someone remembers this voice. The voice of one who was lonely, unclear, misunderstood. I wanted to speak, not of conquest, but of the feelings left unspoken behind it. No one ever asked, so I asked myself, what did you want to become? I didn't want to be a god. I only wanted to be understood. If anyone remembers me again, let it not be for the blade, but for this voice. I never wanted the world. I simply loved my era too deeply. And for that love, I gained everything and lost it all. But now, I am no longer afraid, because now I finally understand myself.